The following is a paid program sponsored by Get Elevated. Please be advised that the voices and opinions you hear do not necessarily represent the views of KUNV Las Vegas, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or the Board of Regents of the Nevada System of Higher Education.
Please note that while we will cover a multitude of topics, including many alleged health benefits, all information provided should be considered anecdotal and informational. Please consult with your physician before adding cannabis to your medical regimen. Cannabis is for adults 21 years of age and older. Also, paid sponsorships are not to be misconstrued as preferred or favored by the host. In any way, they are merely that, paid sponsorships. Happy Saturday, Nevada and beyond. This is Gia, and welcome to another episode of Get Elevated with G Money. I have the self-proclaimed nickname of G Money. We have the studio, Ray Fletcher. What up, Ray? Okay, and second, part 2 of our episode with two dope light workers. I'm joined in the studio with Austin Varvel. Hey, Austin.
What is going on, G Money?
Oh, you know what? I love forcing the G Money on every guest
it's
here.
G Money. It's G Money now. I'm changing it in my phone. That's what it is.
I love it. Fantastic. So we had this very interesting journey about cannabis as sort of a tool for introspection, getting to know yourself, enhancing meditation, which is kind of a recurring theme in my world, and how it really led you on this path of being a light worker, and kind of how it is a sacred medicine. It kind of weaves into all of that. And we were ending the last episode talking about what is a light worker. So I'm going to start off with my interpretation of that, because I am the woo-woo. If you look under woo-woo in the dictionary, you're going to see my face.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Here's the thing. Light workers are all of us. We all have the ability, as you were saying, to help people return to love.
Yes.
So whatever that means, that's a light worker helps you return to yourself, return to love. Can be a legit healer. It can be, like you said, Reiki, astrology, all those things. But really, so reach out to either of us. If you want to learn more about being a light worker, we got you on that.
At all times.
So we were going to get into some things. This episode is a little bit more about the sacred medicine cannabis, how it's affected your journey, your podcast, your servant leadership, all of that. And then let's have a go at really helping people expand with some things they can let marinate.
100%.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
First and foremost, when using cannabis, you want to make sure you're in a safe space. And I think that's the most important thing, right? Is you want to make sure you're in a safe space where you can really allow yourself to feel.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the most important parts is you have to allow yourself to really, drop those barriers, really feel and allow yourself to express whatever it is, whether it be frustration, rage, love, happiness, sadness, whatever it is. And after you smoke, take a few moments. Take a few moments to really
let it settle
sit.
in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And just, have a couple of those deep breaths where, just breathe in for, 5, let go for 7, whatever it may be.
Pranayama, hold it in, do a little box breathing.
That's right.
Yeah, really breath work.
Yes.
Can send you from just having a regular smoke sesh into the astral.
100%.
Through just, pranayama breathing is great for it. I think you were indicating that, and even just slow, deep breaths.
100%.
Yeah.
And I've wanted to apply more of that breath work, especially during my meditations, just because of that fact. And I've seen and heard and just, there's so many benefits to it. So, as you're taking those deep breaths, though, you really want to reflect. Let's
set the scene with some Solfeggio Harmonics.
Yes.
Right. So we were talking about those, and so yeah.
I would probably
set the scene.
say, I can't remember the exact. I want to say
528 hertz.
Thank you. 528.
That's Love, Magic, and Miracles.
Yes, 528. So
can we take a sidebar on 528 hertz?
Yes.
Because I think cannabis is the frequency of 528 hertz. I really do, as a sacred plant. But there is a whole Nikola Tesla. There's a whole body of work. And there's a doctor, gosh, I'm blanking his name. If you literally put 528 hertz, he's got a whole website with the healing, the tuning forks. There is so much research is what I'm really trying to say.
Exactly.
My goodness. Around 528 hertz. And this is what I took away. I learned this years ago. So 528 is like what a blade of grass vibrates at. A blade of grass. It's love, magic, miracles. It's the green in the rainbow.
Yes.
It's like the whole botanical world, the green. That's why the heart chakra is not red like we might think red heart, but it's green because 528 hertz. So there is a lot of research. And so when you put that sound on, there's resonance with your,
with the cannabis and your endocannabinoid
That's
system
right.
itself.
That's right. That's
Oh,
right.
that is beautiful.
Yeah.
So there you go. So tune to, your 528 hertz and really take that moment to be present.
Yeah.
Once again, really reflect and express that gratitude for the day, whether it have been you had a meal in your stomach, whether it have been you had hot water, whether you had a roof, an ability to get to your work, whether you had a job, whatever it is. Take that moment to be grateful. Take that moment to really center yourself, to really just express that gratitude and more importantly, feel that rush start to fill you with the gratitude, with the love, with that stillness, with that clarity, with that peace. And then from there, take a few minutes to just revel in it.
Right.
Take a few minutes to revel in it and to really just express and hold on to it for as long as you can.
Hey, cool idea. Maybe at the end of this, you could do like a 2-minute guided meditation. Because we don't want the listeners to fall asleep.
Of course.
Okay.
No, but as you're going through that and taking those deep breaths, after that, after you have your few minutes, start to journal. Start to journal and start to write.
So let me add on to that. So I've been studying channeled writing.
Okay.
So keep that same scenario. So let's recap, team.
Yeah.
Oh, let's throw in some incense.
Yes.
Let's throw in some Nag Champa.
Oh, let's say some Nag Champa with some lavender. With some lavender oil.
Stop it. You're talking to my game now.
I'm telling you.
Right? Put a crystal in your hand. You don't have to do all this, but I'm telling you what I'm learning, the more and more, all those things have frequencies.
Yes.
The stones, the smells, the color energy. I bought this light, side note. I bought this light. It's a straight up stick.
Okay.
And it has like a fork or a V like this.
Okay.
And the bottom. And you can turn this light. So it's tall. It has a pretty good, 4 to 6 feet kind of, emission of light. And you can put it to any color, like violet, bright yellow, pale yellow. And so I'm working with color energy when I do with my Reiki based on what chakra.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's,
that is
again,
beautiful.
My cosmology is that everything is a story. You said the word narrative. Yes. Everything is a story, including me telling you this is a story. It's a story.
Exactly.
It's all story.
It is.
So you really have to think about what is the story I'm telling right now? And so let's go back to the scene because that is the question to ask to get to know yourself. Right? So we got the Nog. Let's throw in a salt lamp. Bro.
I'm telling you. The Himalayan rock.
Listen,
the Himalayan.
Once I found those, I bought all of them. I had 12 going on in my house. I felt like I was in the Himalayan, right, with the salt lamp.
That is great.
So, but setting the scene is what we're saying, you know, and make it, there's so many beautiful things, whether it's the smell or you respond to, a lit candle, the white flame for an eyes open type thing.
Yes.
Get the Nog going and just settle in and create a sacred cannabis moment.
100%.
I invite everyone to do that who has not thought of it in this way. There is a huge invitation from this ability for us to set the scene for anyone who has not experienced cannabis as an introspective sacred plant to do so. That's the invitation.
100%.
So we have breath, we've consumed a little, and also in this capacity, less is more.
Yes.
Right? It's not about getting stoned and going over that edge.
Yes.
Well, I mean, it can be. We're not judging that. But really, it's about finding that space and then welcoming the medicine in through breath.
100%. And experience and really feel.
Yeah.
I
think, ask the question.
Exactly. Ask the questions of, what do I want? What are the things that make me the happiest? When do I feel most happy or together or one with myself? Right. When do I feel most aligned?
Yeah. And notice if those questions start to trigger you, because that's when there's a lot of people that say, I get anxious, I get anxious, my thoughts. Well, there's nothing wrong with cannabis. I believe my cosmology, my story is that is sending you a message to lean into that. There's something very profound to heal. And when cannabis has gotten me off the rails a little bit, now there was this one time it was just too off the rails. I was in the mud, but when you get in that line, you can lean into it and see what's there to heal.
100%. And the most important part to that is you have to be honest with yourself. You have to have that truth and you have to be willing to have that truth. Once again, having
willing
that
to
safe
be willing.
space.
Yeah.
Exactly. To really set that armor down and to let it go. And that was for me is, when I was able to smoke, I was able to really set that armor down for the first time in the day, the long time, whatever it was, and really say, okay, now I can kind of just relax.
Yeah.
Now I can heal. Now I can feel. Now I can, eat. Now I can write. Now I can do
Yeah.
whatever.
Oh, channeled writing. I was talking about that. I put
100%.
a pin in that. Can we go back there?
Oh, yeah. So go ahead.
So this was, I'm sorry, I was going to tell you my experience with channeled writing.
Please.
So before meditation, this is what I learned is to write a question down that you are, that you're pondering, like an open-ended question, whatever's on your mind, right? And then you go into meditation. And I mean, you can take this to a whole nother level. You can call in spiritual guides. You can call in ascended masters. You can just sit and be quiet, right? I go all the way, though. I'm calling on the whole universe for my questions to be answered.
Yes.
And then after some time, you kind of know, and then you pick up the journal. What makes it channeled, according to, what I've learned, is when you put the pen in the other hand. Now, that's not easy to write with your other hand, but we're very biased with our dominant hand, obviously. And so it's a process, but it allows you to like take a pivot in your brain because your dominant hand's going to know pretty much, your patterns.
It's conditioned. It's auto.
It's conditioned.
Yeah.
So it's writing with the other hand, or at least beginning the conversation. And that's the download. Or if you can let go and you can't do the other hand, use your dominant hand, but really like, don't almost look at it. And I've noticed that my handwriting will change. It'll start looking scribbly or rounder or fluffier during a channeled writing. Very profound.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
That is incredible.
Yeah.
I am so excited.
Light workers.
I'm about to go
ask
do
the
that.
good question.
Yes.
And then sit with the intention. And
that is beautiful.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
Or regular journaling. It's all channeled, isn't it? From our higher self or from,
And wouldn't it be so great is that after a month you go back and then reflect at the beginning of
Absolutely.
a new month and just reread all of it?
Yeah.
Now for a quick word from our sponsors. From the chief lobbyist of Matos Consulting, Jay is spearheading a new bill for consumption lounges. Jay is passionate about alternative places to consume cannabis so our city and the Strip can remain family-friendly.
I have journals that I've saved. I started the journaling process in 2008.
Okay.
I read the book, The Secret. Stop it,
I love
right?
It. I love it. I love it.
Rhonda Burns, isn't that her name? Oh my gosh. Thank you, Rhonda.
Yes.
For I believe that she single-handedly kicked off this whole metaphysical spiritual movement.
Yes.
That woman should be recognized. Well, or that's just when I found it, but I feel like a lot of the world found it at that time.
I would say between The Secret and Abraham Hicks.
Yeah, but I think people, that was on the DL.
This is true.
So
this is
put a
very
pin.
true.
I wanted people to know about Abraham Hicks.
Yes.
But so I started reading The Secret, and I was going through a divorce, and I wanted to like make some changes. And I was like, well, I guess if I just focus on it, I'll get it. And what I realized from that secret is I was focusing on what I didn't want, through complaining, therapy, this is what's wrong, this is what's wrong. And then I was like, well, I'm just creating more of what's wrong. Oh my God, I'm putting more of what's wrong into the space of my life and I can't get out.
Yes.
And then I read The Secret and I was like, okay, I've got to like start thinking about stuff I like. I got to start thinking about stuff I want to do. And that totally shifted the energy of everything. And so, but I love to like find the journals from 2008, 9, 10, and just read about what I wanted to do with my life.
And that's what's so beautiful is that, as we continue to make this journey is that subconsciously we are shifting and we are getting those things we wanted in those journeys, whether it be days, months, weeks, even years later, but we're manifesting those things.
We are.
And that's the thing is that, as you're going through this channeling experience or this focused release, if you will, with cannabis, you're going to start to experience and see those things start to manifest. You're going to experience those manifestations and it won't be coincidence. It won't happen to be just happenstance that this happened to fall in your lap or you happen to get this amount of money or meet this person.
Synchronicity.
It always is.
Yeah.
Synchronicity at its best.
So after The Secret, I was led to Louise Hay.
Okay.
You know Louise Hay, right? The mother of self-love.
Yes.
And I remember someone told me to get the interview on disc, You Can Heal Your Life. So I was going through some tough times. I'm like, sure, I got nothing to lose. And I watched the DVD. And then every teacher that was in there, I looked them up separately because I was like, oh my gosh, I want to know more. And that's how I found Abraham Hicks.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. That's awesome.
She was being interviewed in Louise Hay's You Can Heal Your Life.
So I first found Abraham.
Let's talk about who Abraham Hicks is.
Yes, Abraham Hicks is actually someone who is channeled through Esther Hicks. So that is actually what is, I want to say not husband because that was Jerry.
Jerry, yeah. Esther, this is my knowing of it. Back in the day, her and her husband they were, they were seeing a psychic or something? I don't remember. There was a reading.
Yes.
She started doing like these words with her nose. Like she would make like letters, and Jerry, I think, was translating. And then like that's how they opened up to the channeling. I think it was something.
And here we have now is, Abraham Hicks just has, these profound, whether it be conversations, talks, or, even just lectures where she's talking about things that have to do with manifesting and channeling and opening the vortex.
Would you say the heart of their work is manifestation?
100%.
Yeah. Their book, The Art of Manifestation.
Entering alignment.
Yeah. That book was a life changer.
Well, for 100%.
Yeah.
For me, I really started this journey when I was entering probably my associate's degree program, and I found a documentary called I Am by Tom Shadyac.
Uh-huh.
And I later found it on Gaia, which is an incredible network. But in Gaia, I ended up finding that documentary, and it just had so many profound things. And it really caused me to, reflect, number one, what's wrong in the world? I am. But number two, what can I do or what can be done to change the world?
Right. It's where, that statement where our attention goes, the energy flows.
Yes.
And when your life is crunchy or not going well, and I had this happen to myself recently where just like things like just crunchy. And I was like, whoa, I had to zoom out and look, what am I putting into this space? And because where your attention is going, you're adding more energy. And I really did learn that from Abraham Hicks.
100%. And it's helped me, really be just more mindful than anything, is just be more mindful of the things I'm saying, the things I'm doing, what I'm speaking, how I'm feeling.
Right.
And really ask myself, how does this make me feel? Instead of what do I think about it?
Yeah.
How does it make me feel?
Yeah. I love that. So who are some of your great teachers that you've stumbled upon or sought out along the way?
For me, another one would be John Maxwell, and that one's a little more on like, strict leadership and things like that.
Yeah.
But, developing the leaders around you was, something that was really great and something profound. You lead in the locker room first was a great one as well. But I want to say it was, for me, the 25 Invaluable Laws of Growth.
Okay.
That book itself.
I think I have that book. Is it red?
There's a red version, there's a green version, there's a couple.
Okay.
Yeah, great. And then another one was it was a book on positive psychology, and it was Why We Do What We Do by Edward Deci.
Okay.
And Edward Deci became someone who I believe is kind of like the founding father, if you will, of positive psychology, because it's something newer that's entered the realm of psychology.
Sure.
Over the years, a lot of it really just came from, as weird as it may find, self-reflection.
No, I get that, which is how cannabis got us here, because cannabis helps us go internal.
100%. Go within and reflect and really just learn.
Yeah, I'm a science nerd, because when you learn it on a cellular level like that, you understand that you have more choice. And that goes back to what you're saying. We have choice what we can take in energetically, physically, food, music, all of that. And we don't have to be our genes.
Complete autonomy.
We can be whoever we want. We can be whatever, like Abraham Hicks. We can have, be, or do anything we want.
At any time, and it's ultimately our choice.
Yeah.
And I think that that's the most important thing, is I think that, especially even when smoking cannabis for me now, like I kind of recenter to that, right? Because, whenever there's days I'm stressful or, that I'm just really, having a rough day, I'll smoke, and I'm like, you know what? I don't have to feel this way. I don't have to think this way. I don't have to do this. Wait a minute.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't have to.
Exactly.
Yeah. And so my translation of that is, what am I adding to this? What am I putting in this space here?
100%.
Like, I'm creating this chaos.
Yes.
I can choose that.
It allows that zoom out, that macro perspective.
Yeah. I learned that in an ayahuasca ceremony, actually. The great grandmother tossed me around and allowed me to zoom out and look at my life and see the matrix.
That is so awesome.
Epic. The matrix of how everything has connected. And then you're like, oh, that's why. It took me as far back as when my father died when I was 26. And I could see like that had to happen so that could happen. So then you realize like everything is happening in divine timing. We can't get it wrong. It's all, everything up into that you chose a gray shirt to wear today, or why am I wearing overalls? Whatever. It's all part of the divine matrix.
100%.
And when you can trust in that, Austin, it's epic.
It is. And it's a journey.
It is a journey. We're never there.
It is.
Yeah.
But I think that that's the most beautiful part of it, is that it's not the goal to get there. The goal is to have a good journey. But we don't have a good journey by just focusing on the goal.
Right.
We have to focus on the journey.
The culture of like, I'm going to work hard and get that promotion. Then I'll get the VP role. Then I'll get the president role. Then I'll get the corner office. Then I'll get the watch, and then I'll get the retirement plan, and then I'll die.
Yeah, literally.
Like that's how we do it. And that's not the narrative. That's not my story.
Not at all. And that narrative is very quickly breaking and changing.
Well, that's the 3D versus 5D, right?
Yes.
Third dimension. And man, when you zoom out and you think about this whole corona and cannabis has really helped me tap into another levels. Would you agree?
Yes.
Yeah. And again, because I create that this sacred plant can take me to the moon so I can like snoop around and come on back. That's my story. So that's what happens.
100%.
Right? It's all about intention. You can say, let this cannabis, I want to draw something or read something. It will do. It will match your intention
100%.
with sincerity.
And that's the biggest thing is you have to be genuine.
Yeah.
You have to be honest with yourself. You have to be honest with the plant. But most importantly, you have to be honest with the intentions.
Yeah, the intentions. But it's allowed me to see and understand the coronavirus and what it's done for our planet, Mother Earth, like sort of realigning her frequency.
Yes.
And that there's been so much death and tragedy. And my story, from what I've learned, is there are certain souls that have not made the contract to go on to the fifth dimension.
Yes.
And that is why we're seeing things that don't even make sense. It's like as our planet is ascending in frequency, which it is, and we know that because people like us, the stuff that we say sounded pretty crazy a year ago.
Try back in 2011 and 10.
You sounded like crazy, like
Man,
woo-woo.
I was in high school trying to tell people, and they were like, bro, what are you talking about? And then 2012 came, and they were like, oh, so wait a minute, what were you talking about?
Right. Where do you think, Austin, is your lane as it relates to this whole category of light worker?
100%. And I love that you brought that up. So I'm actually really more focusing on motivational speaking and interviewing.
Interviewing,
yes,
like what we're doing here?
Literally right now, having these types of conversations. What's wrong with the world and what can we do to fix it? How can we help?
Preach.
And that's literally it. Is just travel the world talking
Tell
with
me
people.
about the speaking. What would be the title of your talk?
So one of them, more importantly, would be breaking the foundation.
What does that mean?
So for me, breaking the foundation is breaking out of the narrative that we either thought we were, people thought we were, and we allowed ourselves to believe it, or this is the narrative that has been put upon us. This is the way that we believe we have to be. And it's breaking that foundation, really getting and deconstructing that which we thought we were so that we could become everything that we're meant to be.
Mic drop.
That's it.
I love that.
Support for Get Elevated with Gia is provided by Curaleaf. With 2 locations in Las Vegas and 1 in Ely, Nevada, Curaleaf specializes in cannabis products ranging from edibles to flower. More information is available at curaleaf.com. Curaleaf, Nevada. Cannabis with confidence. Keep out of reach of children. For use by adults 21 years of age and older.
So how do you, are you coaching people? What's your platform on that yet?
So right now I'm actually not coaching people. I've helped and assisted a couple of people. I wouldn't necessarily consider it coaching because I wasn't able to give that consistent effort that I wanted
to.
So
is that in the works?
It is very much so, very much so. I'm actually working on a couple of workshops, and I actually just created my first positive affirmation deck.
I saw
literally
that.
the first one printed.
It's what I like about it. It's simple, and it's like I am safe. Like you weren't trying to make it too fancy with the imagery or everything. You don't have to try and interpret what the pictures mean. It's just you pull it and you can feel it. So I applaud the simplicity of that deck. If that were on Amazon, I would buy it right now.
Thank you. It will be soon.
Just let me know. Yeah.
We're getting there. I got you.
So you have the deck. So what is this brand that you're creating then ultimately?
Really, ultimately, it's going to be a platform for positivity, self-development, but most importantly, healing. And I want to allow this to be a platform and a brand to allow other people that are fellow light workers to not only have for themselves, but also share with the world. So this is something that I do plan on using as a foundation, if you will, to not only attract other light workers, but to work with them in tangent to create, if you will, a kind of network.
Right.
Where we do help, where we do assist, whether it be workshops, whether it be my motivational speaking, whether it be birth charts, whether it be, cannabis lectures and education, whatever.
Sign me up for that.
I got you, G Money.
I'm creating I love how that.
I love
good
it.
Callback.
Always.
I'm creating a one-woman show that is basically whatever I want.
Yes.
So it's going to have a whole weaving of spirituality, leadership, cannabis, plant medicine. Yeah, all of that.
I cannot wait.
Yeah, it's coming together.
Oh, it's going to be life-changing. Beautiful. So yeah, just really creating that network and that platform to really just be able to give people that ability to share what they have to be able to share.
Right.
And to give them that opportunity.
I love it. So what's next for you? What's the next right step?
So for me, most importantly is just continuing to get my podcast episodes going. I want at least another.
Where can people find more information on your podcast?
Please, actually. So my name of my podcast is A Positive Mind with Positive Vibes. So my Instagram is actually PMPV Podcast. You can go on my website, pmpvpodcast.com. You can reach out to me on Facebook. Just search my name, Austin Varvel. Yes, indeed. That nice little bit of French right there.
I like that.
That's the West African. Yes.
Oh,
so,
beautiful.
My father's from Togo.
In
West Africa, in Apactome.
Okay.
So, but very, very just, that's where you can reach me for that. And, really just getting those episodes going, getting some guided meditations going here, getting a workshop going here soon.
I've been thinking I want to close the show with these thoughts about like 3 tips to get elevated. So here they are. And then if you have any, you can add that.
Please.
Number 1, take 100% responsibility for your life. Number 2, really decide what kind of life that you want. Like really get clear. And of course, release it. Number 3, though, take action when you feel that nudge from the universe. Like email someone, call someone, go somewhere. Even if it doesn't make any rational sense, follow the nudges with speed because the universe loves speed. I think those 3 things, you mix a little cannabis with that. That's called magic miracles.
100%.
Yeah.
And if I were to add one more,
Please.
It would say, be open and honest with not only yourself, but those around you about what
All
you're
right.
feeling and expressing and the way your transformation is.
I love it. You have been delightful.
As have you.
I accept that. Thank you. Did you have
Yes.
fun?
Oh, I had an incredible time. This is quite honestly my first time ever experiencing this.
Oh my goodness.
Yes, like
I love that's my mission.
Yeah,
And
this has been this has been literally a whole new chapter. Like I am so grateful for this opportunity.
Oh my gosh. Well, of course, this was manifested. It was co-created. So
my life has changed. Thank you.
Oh my goodness.
I'm-
Well,
I
that's a
mean
mic
that.
drop. Now I get it. No, I love it. I was sitting here thinking about these episodes of Get Elevated. We did start this journey with a lot of clinical applicable, like cannabis is medicine, cannabis for sex, cannabis. And then it took a turn where the community, people were like, I want to be in the show and be in the show. So it was less me asking and people wanting. And so it shifted towards who are these awesome people? When I'm vibing, they're dope people. Like we're kind of keeping it fun, but everyone it's great to let them share their message and then we all learn. It's just been really an epic last, 6-8 episodes. So thank you for being part of season 2. Awesome, amazing people in cannabis.
And thank you for allowing me to be a
Yeah,
part
I
of the
love what you're
journey.
doing. I love you got a deck of cards. You made your own deck of inspirational cards.
It was a partnership. It was that partnership.
No,
once again.
I get it, but you took the action, man. Like that's
This
your
is true.
initiative. So thank you for bringing
Thank you.
that into the world and your beautiful light.
Thank
Much
you.
love. And one more time where people can find you.
Yes. So once again, on my Instagram, PMPV Podcast, on my website, pmpvpodcast.com, and Facebook. So searching my name, Austin Varvel, it'll take you a link to my page.
Awesome. I've never once said where you can find me. So that would be Instagram, gia.kubik. Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for being here for
Yes,
another
thank you.
episode of Get Elevated. Howsh! This episode is a wrap. Dear friends, as I always like to say, welcome to the future of cannabis. My name is Gia. I'll be your tour guide.
You have been listening to a paid program sponsored by Get Elevated. Please be advised that the voices and opinions you heard do not necessarily represent the views of KUNV Las Vegas, the University of Nevada, Las Vegas, or the Board of Regents of the Nevada System of Higher Education.